Have you ever noticed something strange? Your salary gets credited, and for a moment, everything feels under control. You tell yourself, this month will be different. I'll finally save some money. Meet Rahul. He's 28 years old, has a stable corporate job, and earns around $70,000 a month. By most standards, Rahul should be doing just fine. He's not buying luxury watches. He isn't flying business class. He doesn't own the latest iPhone. In fact, he considers himself pretty responsible with money. But somehow, every single month ends the same way. The first week feels comfortable. The second week is normal. By the third week, he starts checking his bank balance a little more often. And before the month is even over, he's asking himself a question that millions of people ask every month. Where did all my money go? One evening, Rahul opens his banking app after a friend invites him on a weekend trip. His available balance? Less than 2,000 rupees. He scrolls through his transactions, expecting to find one big mistake. But there isn't one. No expensive gadgets, no luxury vacations, no massive shopping spree. Just hundreds of small payments. $2.99 here, $4.99 there, a food delivery, a coffee, a cab ride, a subscription he forgot about. Nothing feels expensive on its own, but together, they've quietly erased an entire month's salary. And that's when Rahul realizes something that most people never do. Maybe the problem isn't that he earns too little. Maybe the problem isn't even that he spends too much. Maybe there's an invisible system that's influencing his financial decisions every single day, without him ever noticing. And once you see that system, you'll never look at your money the same way again. So, what exactly is this invisible system? Let's go back to Rahul. The next day, during his lunch break, he decides to figure out where his money is actually going. He downloads his bank statement and starts categorizing every expense from the past month. At first, nothing stands out. Groceries, cab rides, weekend dinners, online shopping, streaming subscriptions, coffee, food delivery. Everything looks normal. Then he adds up the numbers. The 250 rupee coffee runs become almost 3,000 rupees. Food delivery crosses 6,000 rupees. Random online purchases touch 8,000 rupees. Subscriptions he barely remembers signing up for add another couple of thousand. Individually, none of these expenses felt like a problem. Together, they quietly consumed nearly a quarter of his salary. And that's when he notices something even stranger. His salary has increased almost every year since he started working, but his savings haven't. In fact, they haven't grown much at all. Every raise made life feel more comfortable, but somehow never made him wealthier. That's when Rahul remembers his first job. Back then, earning 25,000 rupees a month felt like a dream. He used public transport, packed lunch from home, thought twice before ordering food online. And somehow, he still managed to save money. Today, he's earning almost 3 times as much, yet saving has become harder. What changed? His income? No, his lifestyle. Without realizing it, every salary hike quietly upgraded his life. The bike became a car. Home-cooked meals became delivery apps. One streaming subscription became 5. A $500 purchase stopped feeling expensive. Then $1,000 became normal. Then $2,000. The finish line kept moving. Every time his income grew, his lifestyle grew just a little faster. This is the trap most people never notice. We think we'll start saving after we earn more. But when more money comes, our definition of normal changes with it. The expensive things that once felt like luxuries slowly become necessities. And the moment something feels normal, you stop questioning it. That's why two people earning the exact same salary can end up in completely different financial situations. One gets a raise and increases their investments. The other gets a raise and upgrades their lifestyle. From the outside, they look equally successful. But underneath, one is buying freedom. The other is buying a more expensive version of the same life. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even realize they're making this choice. Because nobody wakes up and decides, I'm going to waste all my money today. It happens one small decision at a time. One convenience. One upgrade. One, I deserve this. Until one day, your salary disappears, and you genuinely have no idea how it happened. The real enemy was never a lack of income. It was an invisible upgrade happening in your life, one purchase at a time. And to understand why our brain keeps falling into this trap, we have to look beyond money. We have to look at psychology. So, why do smart people keep making the same financial mistakes? The answer has very little to do with math and almost everything to do with psychology. Because your brain wasn't designed to build wealth. It was designed to help you survive. And in today's world, that creates a problem. Every time Rahul ordered food after a long day, or bought something online because it was on sale, or upgraded to a slightly better phone, he wasn't making a financial decision. He was responding to a feeling. Let's start with the first one, dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the chemical of happiness. It isn't. It's the chemical of anticipation. It's what makes you excited before the package arrives. It's why adding something to your cart feels satisfying, even if you never buy it. It's why scrolling shopping apps can feel entertaining. Companies know this. That's why you'll see messages like, only 2 items left, flash sale ends in 10 minutes, limited time offer. They're not just selling products, they're triggering your brain's reward system. And every time you give in, your brain learns something dangerous. Feeling stressed? Buy something. Feeling bored? Order food. Had a bad day? You deserve a treat. Over time, spending becomes emotional, not logical. Now comes the second trap, instant gratification. Imagine I offered you 500 rupees today, or 1,000 rupees next month. Most people know the second option is smarter, but our brains naturally prefer rewards that are available right now. This is called present bias. We consistently value the present more than the future. That's why saving money feels like a sacrifice. You're giving up something real today for a benefit you can't feel yet. Your future self wants financial freedom. Your present self wants that late-night biryani. And guess which one usually wins? The one that's hungry. Then there's something even more subtle. Hedonic adaptation. Think about the last time you bought something you really wanted. Maybe it was a new phone, a smartwatch, a bike. Remember how exciting it felt? Now ask yourself, how often do you think about it today? Probably not much, because humans adapt incredibly fast. What once felt extraordinary becomes ordinary. The excitement fades, and your brain starts looking for the next upgrade. That's why people keep chasing bigger salaries without ever feeling financially secure. Their income increases, but so do their expectations. Then comes another invisible force, social proof. Rahul didn't suddenly want expensive cafes because coffee tasted better. He wanted them because everyone around him was going. His Instagram feed was full of vacations, new cars, weekend brunches, luxury sneakers, friends posting achievements, influencers showing perfect lifestyles. After seeing it every day, it stopped looking luxurious. It started looking normal. And when something feels normal, you feel like you're falling behind if you don't have it. The comparison isn't always conscious, but it's incredibly powerful. Finally, there's decision fatigue. Every single day, Rahul makes hundreds of decisions. What to wear, which emails to answer, deadlines, meetings, traffic, family. By evening, his mental energy is almost gone. That's exactly when self-control becomes weakest. And suddenly, ordering food feels easier than cooking. Buying something feels easier than thinking. Convenience wins. Not because you're lazy, because your brain is tired. Now put all these forces together.
dopamine, present bias, hedonic adaptation, social proof, decision fatigue.
Individually, they don't seem dangerous. Together, they quietly shape almost every financial decision you make. And that's why earning more money doesn't automatically make you richer. Because if your psychology doesn't change, your paycheck simply gives your habits a bigger budget. The good news? Once you understand how your brain works, you can stop fighting yourself and start designing a system that works with your psychology instead of against it. And that's exactly what Rahul discovered next. So, how did Rahul finally break the cycle? Not by becoming more disciplined, not by cutting out every coffee, and definitely not by tracking every single rupee forever. He changed the system instead of relying on willpower. Because willpower fades. A good system doesn't. Rule number 1. Pay your future self first. The biggest mistake Rahul made every month was this. He paid everyone else first. The landlord, the food delivery apps, the shopping websites, the subscriptions, and whatever was left at the end, he called savings. The problem is, there was almost never anything left. So he flipped the order. The day his salary arrived, a fixed amount was automatically transferred into his investment account before he had a chance to spend it. Why does this work? Because you can't spend money that never feels available. Your brain quickly adjusts to whatever balance it sees in your account. Instead of trying to save what's left over, you learn to live on what's left after saving. It's the same income, just a different order. And that one change made all the difference. Rule number 2. Increase your savings before your lifestyle. A few months later, Rahul got another raise. This time, he made himself one promise. I'll upgrade my investments before I upgrade my lifestyle. So before buying anything new, he increased his monthly investment. Only after that did he decide whether he actually needed to spend more. Why? Because lifestyle expands automatically. Saving doesn't. If you don't decide where your raise goes, your habits will decide for you. Every raise is a chance to become wealthier, or simply more expensive. Rule number 3. Make spending slightly harder. Rahul noticed something interesting. Whenever buying something was easy, he bought more. One-click checkout, saved cards, UPI. Everything took just a few seconds. So he added a little friction. He removed his saved payment methods. He deleted shopping apps from his home screen. For anything that wasn't essential, he waited 24 hours before buying it. At first, it felt unnecessary. But something surprising happened. Most of the things he wanted yesterday didn't seem important today. Why does this work? Because impulses are temporary. If you create even a small pause between desire and action, logic gets a chance to catch up. Rule number 4. Build habits that don't depend on motivation. Rahul used to tell himself, I'll invest when I remember. I'll budget this weekend. I'll start next month. But motivation is unpredictable. Some days you have it, most days you don't. So instead of depending on motivation, he depended on automation. Investments happened automatically. Bills were scheduled, savings were automatic. He no longer had to make the right decision every month. He made the right decision once and let the system repeat it. That's how real financial habits are built, not through constant effort, through fewer decisions. Rule number 5. Spend on what truly matters. Rahul didn't stop spending money. He stopped spending it without thinking. He asked himself one simple question before every non-essential purchase. Will I still be happy I bought this 6 months from now? Sometimes the answer was yes. Most of the time, it wasn't. And that's the difference between intentional spending and emotional spending. The goal isn't to spend as little as possible. The goal is to make sure every rupee supports a life you actually want. Because money is a tool, not a scorecard, not a source of validation, and definitely not a shortcut to happiness. By the end of the year, Rahul wasn't earning dramatically more than before, But for the first time, he wasn't wondering where his salary had gone. He knew exactly where it was going. It was working for him, instead of disappearing without a trace. And that's when he realized something most people never do. Building wealth isn't about making a few perfect financial decisions. It's about making the right decisions so easy that you don't have to think about it anymore. In the end, financial freedom isn't built by one big moment. It's built by hundreds of small decisions that quietly compound over time. And that's exactly where Rahul's story ends. Let's go back to Rahul. 1 year later. It's the same apartment, the same job, the same salary range, with a few annual increments. Nothing about his life looks dramatically different. He still enjoys coffee with friends. He still orders food once in a while. He still goes on trips when he wants to. But one thing has completely changed. The last week of the month no longer fills him with anxiety. His bank balance isn't something he's afraid to check anymore. Instead of wondering where his salary disappeared, he watches his investments quietly grow in the background. And the biggest surprise? It didn't happen because he became obsessed with money. It happened because he stopped letting money control his decisions.
Most people believe financial freedom begins when they earn more. But Rahul discovered something different. Financial freedom begins the day your habits become stronger than your impulses. Think about it. There are people earning $30,000 every month who consistently build wealth. And there are people earning 3 lakhs every month who still live paycheck to paycheck. The difference isn't always income. It's the gap between what comes in and what quietly slips away. That's why the question was never, how much do you earn? The real question is, how much of what you earn actually stays with you? Because every salary is a vote for the life you want tomorrow or the comfort you want today. Every small purchase is a decision, not just about money, but about the future you're slowly creating.
Rahul didn't become rich overnight. He simply stopped making the same invisible mistakes every month. And over time, those small changes created a life that one big salary never could. So the next time your salary gets credited, before you ask yourself, what can I buy this month? Ask yourself something far more important. What kind of life am I paying for? Because in the end, people don't stay broke because they earn too little. They stay broke because their habits spend tomorrow's money before tomorrow ever arrives.